again!
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz of the Roundtable discussion where we talk about all sports all the time. We are back. I'm with my guy, The Truth, this evening. How you doing, sir?
Not too bad, my friend. Not too bad.
Before we start, make sure you like and subscribe to the ting, comment. We want to get a debate going. We love all the banter. We love all the chat. Let's get this rolling. I know we've been missing for a little bit of lockdown and that, but the shackles are free. We're back. Content is coming out all the time up until the new year. We'll probably go missing for about 2 weeks and then come back again because, you know, we all got families, all the rest of it. But we're not going to waste any time. As you can see in the background, we are going to be mainly talking about the North London derby, but it's going to be a little bit of football talk. First of all, we're going to be discussing Arsenal. We're going to be discussing Spurs, the North London derby, and we might touch on Man United if we have time. But yeah, we're going to start off with the Gooners. My guy, The Truth, is here. I don't even know where to begin when it comes to Arsenal, but we'll go off the last result. Obviously, you got a good result in the Europa League, the 4-1 result against Rapid Vienna. But before that, it was the 2-1 against Wolves in the league on Sunday. What's going on? From an Arsenal fan perspective, what is going on? Why is it that in the league you're struggling? I mean, Arsenal were renowned for creating chances, scoring goals. I think there's one thing that you can never say about Arsenal is that they wouldn't score goals.
Yeah.
And we're not getting any. I mean, I think your goal of the month competition for November was won by a Aubameyang penalty because I think that was the only goal you lot scored.
I think we've only scored from set pieces in since the West Ham game or something silly like that.
That's mad.
It's crazy.
That is mad. Yeah, but yeah, what's going on? Talk to me.
It's so to put it easily, what has happened, I believe, is that Arteta has overcompensated for our weak defense, and he hasn't been able to get the balance right as of yet in terms of attack and defense. He's been a bit too rigid with the 3-4-3 formation. And as I explained to you before, the 3-4-3 formation is good at catching people out. It's good for some big games. What it isn't good at is when teams expect it and they know what to do when they're going into the game. And the 3-4-3 is easy to counter. Like any manager worth their gravy can counter the 3-4-3. Overload the flanks, overload in midfield, commit people forward, defend deep because we got one less midfielder, we got one less creative player. So the way to do it is you just have overloads on the flanks, overload the midfield, defend tight at the back, and that's it. It isn't a great formation to rely upon, and we're struggling right now to really do anything. Like teams are just coming onto us, and it's up for Arteta to get the balance right. I still believe in him. As I've mentioned before, he has not had a pre-season where he can chop and change. Unfortunately, he came in the middle of last season. This pre-season, we only had one practice game, one or two practice games before the season started because of the late FA Cup finish. So it hasn't been the most ideal of starts for a manager to come into. Yeah. So it's important that it's important that he gets the balance right. But for me, I'm willing to wait. He's got this whole season for me. Next season's where I put the pressure on. This season, he could chop and change as much as you want to get the balance right. Well, that's for me anyway. I know certain Arsenal fans, certain fan channels are calling for his head already and, throwing their toys out of the pram.
It's true. And I'm the person where obviously I'm not an Arsenal fan, but as a neutral, I say give him time. At least you look and see what he's trying to do, unlike the manager at my football club. But in saying that, I mean, talking about Arteta and what is happening, I said Arsenal are renowned for goal scoring, and at this moment in time, it's not happening. And you would think Arteta being under the school of Pep, obviously having that Barcelona influence, that would have been the thing that would have been coming to Arsenal, was the fact that he'll be trying to play that expansive football, triangles all over the place, hexagons, pentagons, all of that, and scoring goals. And you would have expected it to be a little bit the same as is that you don't score goals, but then leak goals at the back. But how does he change it? Because it's looking a bit bleak at this moment in time. Look, I think in the last game against Wolves, Abba did play through the middle, which was one of the changes that people were asking for. But what else does he do in terms of changing it so that you lot can become more of a threat going forward?
Okay, for me, our best game of the season, ironically, was the 1-0 loss against Leicester, because we dominated Leicester. I think they scored from their first shot on target, well into the 80th minute. But in terms of the way we played, the chances we created, Leicester was our best game. Obviously, bar the United game, but that was more of a structured performance. We scored the goal. We were hard to break down in the second half. But in terms of an overall round game, the Leicester game was a good performance, apart from the lapse of concentration at the back that let Jamie Vardy score. In terms of changing it, I would love to go back to 4-5-1 or 4-4-2. I think that is essential for us to get back in the goals. The only thing about the 4-5-1 or the 4-4-2, it does leave us more open at the back. So I don't know if he's willing to commit to that yet.
But surely, sorry to cut you off, but surely at home against the so-called weaker sides, surely he could go back to that.
But that's the thing. There's no more home games no more. I think the stats has already showed the away team is winning higher percentage of games, home and away. Well, the fans have started coming back, so maybe now we can see
the
more
2,000 fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe now we can see a little bit more happening. But in terms of home, this is why I have a little bit of sympathy for what he's trying to do. Obviously, from in and away game, it's more effective. But as I said, because it's not home and away, teams are just attack. Like, look at Aston Villa against us. Aston Villa were just raining down, no respect.
Yeah.
Because they're free. All these small teams, they're playing free. Look at Southampton, West Brom gave Man United a game. Everyone just giving each other a game. There's no easy games. Like, I know Man City won 5-0 at Burnley, but they always win 5-0 at Burnley. For me, that's a freak result. Like, all these results, all these small teams are good. No one thought Leicester, Fulham, home, banker.
Oh my days.
Leicester,
my gosh.
Everyone in fantasy had Jamie Vardy as captain.
Like that.
So, there's no home and away. So it's up for Arteta. He has to work it out. It's not my job to second guess him, because it's his job to try work. Because at this point in time, I'm finding it hard, and everyone's finding it hard, because what all Arsenal fans are saying, he's trying to do things and it's not working out. Play Aubameyang through the middle, still didn't work out. Still didn't get the goals. We play certain formation. We played 4-5-1 at Leicester. We still lost. So, it's up to him to work out. For me, I would love to go. Well, if we're talking about the North London derby, I think we stay as it is, 3-4-3, and then we try hit Spurs on the counter attack. But I actually think we're going to be more brave in the North London derby.
We'll get to North London derby and all of that. But I mean, it's difficult
It
because
is. It is. Honestly, this is the most like, okay, for United, for example, you can easily work out the issues, what Ole should be doing. At Man City, you can work out the issues in terms of personnel, the injuries, whatever. Liverpool, the injuries. You know, these certain stuff you can work out. With us, it's really, really difficult to put your finger on. Like, I know the players are lacking confidence, but the creativity thing is an issue. It is an issue, and only Arteta can work it out.
Speaking of creativity, there's a certain individual that his name is coming up more and more, obviously, because of what is happening with Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah.
For you, do you personally bring Ozil back into the team after all that's gone on? We both know Ozil's been left out for political reasons and not because of his footballing ability. But there are some fans that absolutely despise him and wouldn't want him in the team for his footballing ability. But for you, do you bring him back into the side if Arteta could? We know he can't, but if he could.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think talk of it is moot because we can't. He's been left out the 25-man Premier League squad. So until January, we can't. We can't put him in there. Out of all of the things Arteta has done, this for me has been probably, for me, it's been the worst that he could have done. I love Arteta, but I do not agree. Forget about the results, forget performances, formations. Leaving Mr. Ozil out is a huge error. I don't care if you're not going to play him, but at least have him available because he is a creative player. And at the end of the day, leaving him out gives people an excuse to doubt you. And whether it's for political reasons or whatever, it's going to come back on you. It's not going to go back on the owners. No one cares about the owners when we're playing. It's going to come back on Arteta, and he's made a huge error in that. If it was me, I want Mesut Ozil out because I'm tired of the whole saga. I'm tired of the whole Ozil this, whatever. I think it's gone on for too long. So I want him personally out. But I still think he is a class player, and in any team that can accommodate him, he makes them better, and he creates chances. Like, his chance creation, even last season when he wasn't even playing, was still up there. Like, we were playing awful. He was playing awful, but his chance creation was still up there. That's the kind of person he is. He will create chances because he's got an eye for a pass, and he can pass and do things what other players in our squad can't do right now. So you have him available if you can. So,
Rob, I can't disagree. When he first went to Arsenal, I can say I wanted him. I'm not going to deny the fact that I wanted him because what he was doing at Real Madrid with Cristiano. I mean, Cristiano was vexed when they let him go, and obviously you could see why because of the chances, all the assists that he gets. So, but obviously over the years, he's a luxury player, as we know.
Yeah.
So it's a thing where if you put Ozil in that City team that got the 100 points, he shines.
Yeah.
He shines because they had all the pieces in the way that they play football. But putting him in an Arsenal team, especially in a struggling Arsenal team, and the way how he plays, he's got that languid style. He's not really interested in defending and whatnot.
But no, see, that's unfair because the stats make it look not even the stats. The way he plays make it look like he doesn't work as hard. But last season, when he was asked to run a lot more, especially when Arteta came in, his stats showed he was doing a lot of chasing back. He was doing a lot of running. He covered the most ground of any Arsenal player when he was playing. The reason is he was asked to do a lot of work. What people need to understand, the smart foreign players, they don't run after the ball like headless chickens. Their game is about anticipating playing. So they cut off channels, they cut off lines of passing, and that's what they do. You don't need to be Jordan Henderson running, flying into tackles, because what that does, it takes away from your creativity. And in a team like us, it leaves you out of position. I remember the talk when Henry was at Barcelona, and he said, "Yeah, I chase back." I was tackling the guy that was down my flank, and then Pep substituted him because Pep said, "I don't want you back there. I need you up there because that's our strategy." So that's what the foreign play is about, and people need to understand. That's what football is about. It's not about just running around and headless chicken, man. It's strategies.
Well, this is the thing, and different players bring different things to the table. But I think, especially in the Premier League, which is why England can't get anywhere, is they're all about the passion and the aggression. Yes, he ran from the striker position to save the ball off the line, and he does so much running, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong, it's needed in the game of football. You need them players that are tenacious and are going to chase down and hunt down the ball. But then you've got other players that do other things. Most of these players that have the tenacity and have the aggression and chase everything can't pass the ball 10, 15 yards. So that's what these players are for. And this is the whole Pogba debate and whatnot, which I'm not going to get into because I haven't got time for it. But these are the qualities. This is the reason why when Spain was dominating, who can say that they saw Iniesta and Xavi chasing down man and blah, blah, blah? You can't. But then when you look at their running stats, you see how much ground they cover. Why? Because they keep possession of the football and they pass and move off the ball. It's not chasing guys. And that team went to win the World Cup and the European Championship. The French side that just won the World Cup.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Funny enough, you call Pogba because I think Pogba and Ozil's situation are so identical.
Exactly. Like the French squad with Pogba in it. He had Matuidi and Kante to do his running. So not saying that he wasn't working, but that allowed him to be like, all right, cool. I've got Kante, which is like a frigging hyena, bruv, just running around all over the gaff. And he's got Matuidi to do all that running so he can then play the passes to Mbappe and Griezmann and all their man there. That's what it is. So it's not all the man. Even look at City. Look at City. People said that David Silva wouldn't make it in the Premier League. And he pissed all over the league. And did you see him chasing like a headless chicken? No.
Exactly.
He did. He got the ball. They kept the ball. And just kept it moving. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what these players are supposed to do. You fit them into your system and you do one of two things. Either you do the possession-based thing, which Pep does, or you put players around them to do their running. So not saying that they can be lazy, but then you don't want them inside your half because then that leaves your striker isolated. But this is what I'm saying. You've got too much of these fans in this country that just believe running around and doing whatever is the best thing since sliced bread. And this is why for, 55 years, whatever it is, since they've won the World Cup or a cup of any, you know what I mean? But they'll never change because it's the same thing every single time. I went off on a tangent there.
That's just true. No, it's literally what you said is exactly what happened. And I know that as a Man United fan, you have experienced that more so in one player that I think highlights it more than any other player, which is Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney was a huge talent, but then toward the end of his career at United, he started, not even toward the end of his career, a lot in his prime, he started doing a lot of dirty work, which really impacted on his play going forward. And slowly, when he realized that he couldn't run no more, he was still trying to do the dirty work, but he wasn't getting back in position. And it's a lot why his performances dropped significantly when you think about when he was young, he was up there being compared to the likes of Ronaldo and Messi.
Exactly.
As a Man United fan, you know, it's not be all and end all just running around.
It's not at all, and that's his. But the thing is, the only thing I will say about it is obviously he grew up in the English game, so it's embedded in him to do all of that because that's what, and obviously you came up under Moyes, bro. So what do you expect? You know what I mean? Moyes is running 101, just run and work hard, and that's it. But no, it's true. Like, and then obviously because of that, it brought about issues because then Fergie was putting him out on the left and putting him out on the right, and then obviously he enjoyed his spell in the number 10 for a period of time. Like he enjoyed just playing behind the striker, but then towards the end of his career, it caught up with him. And when he lost the legs, he couldn't do anything else. Like everyone was saying, put him in centre midfield, bro. anyone with a brain can see Wayne Rooney couldn't play centre mid. I remember when I kept on hearing that idiot Jamie Redknapp saying, "Oh yeah, he could play centre midfield." No, because he wasn't Ryan Giggs. He wasn't Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs had the football intelligence. Wayne Rooney had the technical ability, but he didn't have the football intelligence to play there, which is why when he got put there, it didn't work.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. When you stop running, if your team's not winning, you're then the scapegoat. Because it's like, oh, well, you didn't put a shift in. But then you got players like Bruno, but because he runs around, right? Even though he runs around and doesn't really make any tackles, but he runs around, right?
Yeah.
Scores penalties, right? But no one's looking at the fact of how many times he gives away the ball. The guy gives away the ball, but because he runs around, right?
He will always escape. He'll always escape.
He waves his arms and scores penalties. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, he's this and he's that, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I can't take. But anyway, I ain't got time for them. Because when I look at your midfield, it's Partey. Oh, I know he's injured, and that's a big blow.
It has been a big blow for us, yeah.
And El Nene, Xhaka, Ceballos, Willock. And then you got I can't think of anyone else. That's it. That's literally
essential. For me, in the Europa League, I'm seeing a lot of the youngsters try to take the chances, a bit more freedom. In the Premier, I don't see where the pressure's coming from. As I said, there's no fans in the stadium. So what's getting highlighted now is the real lack of quality from the Xhakas, from the El Nenes. Ceballos, for me, Ceballos needs to play next to Partey. But for me, that's not the problem. It's further forward. It's how do we get the ball transition from midfield to attack? And as you said, that number 10 or that creative player that can either hold the ball or spot a pass is missing. It's a huge hole. It's a huge shot. So we either need to adapt and move into wing play, but then we are getting crosses in the box, but there's no one in the box to finish them because Aubameyang's either out wide or he's not that type of player to even attack crosses. We don't have a late runner into the box. So Partey can do that. He does. He is box to box. He can be late to the box, but obviously he's been injured. So look, we'll see how we do in the next 10 games. The first 10 games always a feeling out. I'm not going to overreact to the first 10 games of the season. It's been a fun your season to start off with. One win is all it takes to turn it around.
It's true, but just on the final point before we do move on to the North London derby, it's something that I was talking to my boy about and highlighted, and I was just like, raw. I was like, your wingers are not good. When I looked at it, and I was like, Pepe talented but doesn't show it. I mean, he was pissing all over Rapid Vienna in the Europa League.
Pepe will show it once he gets a run. I know he didn't take his chance against flipping Leeds in terms of the head, but once he gets a run of games, I think he will show it. He's shown me enough talent that he just needs a run of games.
He's so talented. Man's talented, man, for fun.
Exactly. I know.
He's so talented, but he just maybe it's true. Maybe he just needs a run of games, and then he'll get into the flow. Willian, boy, like it looks like Chelsea are really, really laughing right now.
I'm gonna cuss Mr. KA for this. I'm gonna cuss Mr. KA because remember what he was saying at the start when I was saying we should have gone for St. Allen maximum, and he's talking about Willian. So Mr. KA's got something to answer for that. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, Willian obviously he's making it look like Chelsea's done you lot again, like in terms of taking their dead wood. And then I'm thinking Saka, bad man, but he's young, but he's a bad man, bad boy player. He's going to develop into a very, very, very good player. I like him. And Reece Nelson,
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of the wingers, it's just like, boy, like it's bare out wide as well. It's bare out wide.
And this is the thing though. This is why I prefer to go back to the 4-5-1 because what do wingers need? they need an overlapping fullback, that's always there with them, either making runs on the outside or inside, just to take away defenders, to give them more room. The people out wide at the moment are isolated. Like, they have to do something. They have to, like, Willian. What I've seen from Willian this season, I've been shocked, to be honest. I've been shocked. He's really showing his age. He's not taking on no players. Crossing is woeful. He looks what I feared, to be honest. And that, for me, Willian with Chelsea, with other class players, was good. But coming to Arsenal side that's not going to quite provide him with the same quality is average, and it's scary. So
I think you summed it up in a nutshell. I mean, I think because of the way how he's performed in the Premier League for Chelsea, he's been inconsistent, but I think you can kind of take that with what he does do on a good day when he was at Chelsea. So I think
no. I don't think so. Like, I remember him at Chelsea. He wasn't. You would never say Willian was that player that played good for 10 games straight.
Nah.
He was always a player. He played good 2 games.
Yeah.
Average for about another 3 games, and then you have a good game here. Then he'd be silent for about 10 games, and then he'd pop out of nowhere when his contract was about to expire, and then play lights out. So he was never that player. He was never that player.
But you would have seen it would have been decent because it's getting him on a free. But
I never thought that he was going to be such a star. I never thought that he'd be playing as much as he is for 90 minutes every not for 90, but playing every game. I thought he was just going to be back up to Pepe, but again, it's something that Arteta's going to have to work out for me. So
Arteta's got a lot to work out, and yes, he's got a short space of time to do it in, because the next fixture is the North London derby away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Are there fans going to be allowed in? Do you know?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I think only the home fans. Only the home fans will be allowed in. So going away to Spurs' ground, fans allowed back in the stadium. It's a big game. Obviously, always is a big game. Quiz question for you. When was the last time you lot beat Spurs away?
Spurs away. Okay, last time. I know it wasn't
in the league. Sorry,
I know it wasn't. I know we won the Carling Cup game 2-1, not too far. The last win I remember at Spurs. Wow, it's been a long time. Was it? I know it's pre-2012. I'm thinking 5-2.
No.
When you win 1-5-2 at the Emirates. Damn, when's the last time we beat Spurs away? Was it 2000? Whoa! Has it been that long?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 2010.
No.
No.
There's a win after that.
I could just think of one, and that was Thomas Rosicky 1-0.
That's exactly it.
That was that one.
2014. 2014. That's exactly it.
That's the only one I could remember. I couldn't remember if it was that home or away.
Yeah, it was. I remember that goal as well.
Rosicky banged it. Yeah, top corner. 2000. It's been a long time. 6 years.
Yeah, since we won away at Spurs. So, I mean, look, the omens are there, but you did it at Old Trafford. You did it at Old Trafford. You got the win after however long. So, from your perspective, and a side note, I didn't even realize it's something that I researched. That game in 2014, Arteta played in that game.
So for me, the good thing is that he knows what the North London derby means. He knows what it means. So, I expect a lot from him. The one thing though, Emery never lost the North London derby, I don't think. but Arteta lost his first North London derby. So he has to turn that around quickly. We're not used to managers unsuccessful in the North London derbies. So
It's true. What are you expecting from this game? We all know when it comes to derbies, form goes out the window. But considering you haven't won at Spurs since 2014, in the last 5 North London derbies in the league, you lot have only won one, and that was at the Emirates. What are you expecting from this game from Arsenal?
it's a strange one, because it's a thing where normally a typical Arsenal Mourinho game goes like, we have the ball, Mourinho sits back, hits us on the counter. That's exactly what they did to us in end of last season when we played them at what the stadium's called? Just the Tottenham ground or something.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur
they ain't
Stadium.
They ain't got a sponsor.
Oh yeah. So it was that game was unfortunate for us because we played very well, but then
that's when you lot scored first, didn't it?
Yeah, Kolasinac gave away the ball for the.
And then Son, yeah.
So I don't know how Mourinho's going to approach the game, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. The way he approached the Chelsea game, Mourinho reverted to type. He just said, I'm happy with a point. Let me just go all men at the back. He's got this new strategy with Kane as a quarterback, and then pop the ball to Kane and then go find Son. That's their strategy.
It's been surprising how much Harry Kane's passing ability has improved. Like, I know a lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, but he's just sliding the ball through." But some of them passes that he's playing, boy,
they're good passes, man.
I'm being honest. Like, I just saw him, like, because when you listen, as I said, like, Sugar Kane is a very good player. I'd take him at United. I would take him at United, but when I saw this guy, I was like, there's nothing special about this guy whatsoever. You see players and you just think, oh yeah, there's something special. And you just look at Harry Kane and you just be like, this guy's just an average footballer, but he knows where the goal is. But that's what I just saw him as an out goal scorer. Alan Shearer type, just out and out goal scorer. But this guy has proved everyone wrong with the way how he's passing that ball at the moment, because he's playing balls that Aubameyang probably wishes that someone will play for him. Like, no joke.
You know what it is? Though? It's not sustainable, because this is the issue with having these kind of strategies. Is that from a traditional point of view, as a defender, as a CDM, you're thinking, Harry Kane is over there and he's not close to our goal. Let's have him over there. Okay, and they're letting him play those balls. Now, if you switch your tactic up and be like, oh, Harry Kane is a KDB or a Bruno Fernandes type player, you get someone on him quick and just have him being clamped before he can turn, and that strategy just goes out the window, because Harry Kane's never going to turn you and get away from you. It's easier than that. He's never going to turn you, get away from you. So I love the one thing about Mourinho, even though I hate him, there's one strategy that he used to use, and you know this very well, that under Herrera, put someone on their creative player and then clamp them out the game. That's the strategy we need to use tomorrow. Whoever it is, whether it's El Neni or whoever, it has to be someone mobile, so I think El Neni. Put him on him, on every time he gets the ball, foul him, kick him, don't care if he dives, as long as he can't turn and get his head up. Because if he's shown that he's able to hurt teams, so it's a not sustainable strategy for me.
No, it's true. I think if you do put something on it changes the dynamics of the game completely. Because what it is that we know, as you said, Harry Kane hasn't got the legs to run away from people. Hence why he's dropping into that number 10 position. And then what's happened is that Son, whether it's Son and Lucas or Son and Bergwijn, they're going in, and then there's the legs. There's the leg. It's just whether or not Harry Kane can play the pass. Because once he plays that through ball, let's be realistic, there's not many centre-backs that are catching Son and Lucas or Son and Bergwijn once he gets the through ball there. And that's how a lot of teams have gotten killed, is the fact that the centre-backs are not going to go with Harry Kane, but the midfielders are like, well, I've got to deal with this, I've got to deal with that. So Harry Kane's literally dropping into the number 10. It's a little bit, and nowhere near the talent, but it's a little bit what Messi was doing in that false 9 for Barcelona, where he's dropping deep. Centre backs have no one to mark, so they don't know what to do.
Exactly.
And then it's like, oh my days, what do I do now? And then they're getting caught out by the runners. Yeah. They're getting caught out by the runners. So it's a smart strategy that Maureen's been doing with Harry Kane, and then obviously we all know Harry Kane will get bored of that, and then because he'll want his goal. And then once Spurs are like 2-0 up or whatever, he'll then get in the box and try and get his goal. But I think that's a strategy that can be used by Arsenal. I think if you say to whoever the CDM is, when Harry Kane does drop in to the number 10 position, get around him and stop him from playing, it then makes Mourinho think, well, what do I do now? But it's no secret that Maureen at home will park the bus and let Arsenal have the ball.
That's the thing. I don't think it's going to work against us because we're not ball dominant no more. We can't even do 5-yard passes.
It's true, but I still think he'll let you lot have the ball, and I think the reason for that is that the lack of chances that you lot create. Yeah. So it's going to be a thing where let Arsenal have the ball, they're going to give the ball away, and it's a typical thing of what us as United used to do to you lot when Wenger was in charge, where to let you lot have the ball, lose it, and then break. I can see Maureen, because I don't think Maureen wants to have the ball. Let Spurs have the ball.
I know he doesn't, but I don't see, because we're going to play 3-4-3, and we're going to play the exact way we played at United. The United game, we're going to play the exact same way. We're going to drop deep. If they bypass the press, we're going to drop deep. In fact, I could see 0-0 written all over this game again, just like the Chelsea game, because you got two teams that's just going to be afraid of committing people forward. Unless there's an early goal, I can honestly see a 0-0 happening. If there's an early goal, that changes the whole dynamics of the match.
I think I can't see it. I think Arsenal's defense is too poor for it to be a 0-0. I genuinely do, and at the same time, I believe that because it's a North London derby, I think whether it be Aubameyang or Lacazette, I think one out of two of them will score. I can't see it being a 0-0. I think there's too much talent, and I think there's too much on the line, and also because you're going to have fans back in the stadium as well, for it to be a 0-0, I don't think there's any chance of that happening. But I just wanted to read off something to you about Arsenal in the league, and because I was looking at the last 8 games, and it's 2 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. But most of your away form isn't as bad as your home form at the moment in time. I mean, you got the 0-0 draw away at Leeds with 10 men, which you lot should have lost, because honestly, I don't know how. You got the win at United as well. So is it a case of, because you lot are away from home, the pressures off Arteta and off the players a lot more, therefore you might be able to play with a little bit more freedom? Also, because obviously the onus is on the home team to try and win the game.
There will be a lot more pressure on Spurs to win this game, because at the moment you are looking at Spurs as title contenders. Whether you agree with it or not, you are looking at Spurs as title contenders. And if they have to be title contenders, they should be winning a game like this. We are off form. They're at home. We're going to have some fans back in a while. Trust me, fans make a difference. Whether it's like even one fan cheering your name, let alone 2,000 fans cheering you on, they make a huge difference. As I said, the stat shows, I don't know if you could pull it well out for me, but I remember it was 40% away wins in the Premier League, more than home wins.
That's nuts.
It was crazy, and normally it was a high percentage. It was like 45 home wins when there was fans in the stadium. So you see how much of a fans make a huge thing. So the pressure definitely is on Spurs, because they should be expecting to win this game. So, but the North London derbies, that being said, Even Arteta knows what it means, North London derby. Some of these players knows what it means. You know, you look at Oba. Oba loves the fans when it comes to North London derby. So it's a derby at the end of the day. It's an equaliser. But the pressure is on, for me, the pressure is on Tottenham. It's hard for them to go and win this game.
100% the pressure's on Tottenham. I mean, they're at home, top of the league with Liverpool, looking like title contenders. I mean, you can't get much more pressure than that. And obviously, we all, like, well, you people don't know, but I know how much the truth despises Jose Mourinho. And I think, is that record still not intact, is it?
What?
That he's never lost against Arsenal. That's not intact no more, is it?
No, he's lost when was in charge of United, 2-0 away when he was at the Emirates. But he's got a record where he's got 10 games unbeaten at his home record against us. He's 10 unbeaten against us for his home.
What is it? What is it about Mourinho that you despise so much, even more so now that he's wearing Spurs colours?
I just think his football is so outdated. And I think the media in response to Mourinho is just so... The views are so skewed. They call when he wins a game, masterclasses. Like, okay, for example, the Man City game, they called it a masterclass because they got the goal and they sat back. It's not a masterclass. It's playing with fire. He played the numbers. Man City on a different day get those goals and consider if they kept Man City out, kept them to 0 chances or nothing or no pressure, then it's fine. You could call it a masterclass. But Man City had chances, and then they scored a goal on the counter because Man City were sending players forward. It's not a masterclass. It's playing with fire. And I tell you what, when fans are back in the stadium, you're going to see the Mourinho that was back at Man United, because that kind of football is so outdated. It's so outdated. It doesn't work no more. It doesn't work.
I mean, the naysayers will obviously point to his record of winning trophies. Spurs
what have you done for me lately?
Spurs need it, but anywhere he's gone, he's won a trophy. Spurs need a trophy.
Yeah.
So you would say it was the right fit for him to go there. And when you look at the way how Spurs have been playing, they've been scoring goals. Harry Kane's dropped into the number 10, which, if you look at Maureen's teams, the striker's never done that before. Obviously, he always had the Drogbas and the Zlatans and the Cristianos and Benzemas.
He's played good football before. Let's not get that twisted. Remember in 2014 with Chelsea, 2015. So I think 2015 when they won it, innit?
I think so.
Yeah, with Chelsea. He has played good football. The problem with Maureen is that he's a good front runner, but when it comes to playing catch up, or if he's tired, he crumbles because his team is not good at going out and grabbing the bull by the horns. He isn't. So, for example, the Chelsea game. This is a perfect example. Top of the table clash, Chelsea game. Tottenham on form. They're thinking, boom. What did he do in that second half? They didn't have a shot on target until the 80th minute. They never left their half. He's going to revert to type. He can't help it. Help it. That is his strategy. And honestly, in this day and age of football, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. For me, it's not going to work.
Well, we'll have to watch this space and what Maureen does. So, North London derby is 3:30. You got to hand the team sheet in. Who is your starting 11 for Arsenal?
If I could go and make a emergency signing, I would get Martinez back in goal. Okay. So obviously Leno in goal. I'm gonna go with what Arteta's going to do because there's no point of going for what I want. Cause I know he's not gonna do that. So it's going to be 3-4-3. Gabriel, Tierney, and I know David Luiz. I don't know if he is able to play because of the 7-day concussion thingy. So I
Not
don't
sure.
know. I'm unsure.
But that
I'm
would be
unsure.
7 days, right? Because obviously it happened on Sunday. The
Yeah,
game's
but I
on
don't know if
Sunday.
it's But that's the thing. I don't know if it's after until
Oh yeah.
like from the checkup on Monday. Then
Oh
it'll be.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm unsure if he's eligible to play either way. But Murray did come in against Rapid Vienna, and
He looked decent.
yeah, he looked good. So, but it's two left-footed players. If you
Oh
play
no.
Murray, if
Oh
he's three
no.
left-footed players, yeah, three
No.
left-footed, Turney, Gabriel, and thingy. So
Nah, you can't. You can't. You
yeah,
can't.
I think the problem with it as well, playing David Luiz as part of a three, that Luiz plays on the right-hand side, which isn't good because players are getting in between that area between the right back and David Luiz, and Luiz doesn't have that pace, so it's a bit of an area of a concern for me. So if Luiz is fit, he's going to play though. But if not, Holding will play there. I don't really want to see Bellerin at right wing back no more.
Ballerina, yeah.
He's.
I'd rather play Cedric Suarez.
I would put Ainsley there.
Or Ainsley.
I think Ainsley needs a chance again. I think it's criminal that he's been taken out of the team for so long.
It is.
I don't know what's going on. If Partey is fit, he obviously has to start.
Partey's out till Christmas now.
Yeah, he's been. It's annoying that's happened. He was our best player when he was playing, so that means in midfield we're gonna go Xhaka and El Nene.
Not Xhaka and Ceballos.
Nah, Ceballos.
Not away at Spurs.
Nah. Okay. When they play together, I don't know their win rate, but I know it's shockingly low. So and then they came back and played again. Remember, he only missed because of COVID.
Oh yeah.
So he'll probably go and slot right in there with Xhaka, and then on the left probably be Saka. I'm sorry, yeah, left wing back Saka will play there, and then the front three. Obo will go to the left, Lacazette through the middle, and unfortunately, Willian will play on the right, even though I would actually play Reece Nelson on the right. I know it's not the best, but over him and Willian, I would choose Reece Nelson for this game. Willian for me has been outstandingly poor for the last. He's offered zero. At least with Nelson there, he'll either surprise you or do crap. He'll surprise you or do crap. Like take the chance. With Willian, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a load of shit. So there's no point for me.
I hear that. I think it's a good shout what you said about Aubameyang going back out to the left and Laka playing through the middle. Reason why I say that is that I do believe that Lacazette has had some good performances against Spurs.
Yeah, he has. He's got a good scoring record against Spurs.
Yeah, when he has played. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And obviously he scored midweek on Thursday.
Yeah.
People say it's a banger. I see it as poor goalkeeping personally.
Yeah, well,
for him to get a goal back, to get a goal after I think he didn't score for 8 games or something like that.
Yeah,
some mad statistic like that. So that's good. So with that team, it's the head and heart time now. With that team, I think you said you wouldn't be surprised if it would be a 0-0, but what result are you expecting from this game?
I'm less confident about this game than I was with the Man United game. The Man United game, I was more confident just because you guys had a big glaring weakness in Ole as your manager. But against the Tottenham game, it's much more hard. I think the way they're playing, and the way we're playing suits the attitude that Mourinho's going to take his players. So I don't like predicting a loss because I don't see a positive result for us. So I'm going to go 0-0. I don't see a positive result. No, normally, like I go. My instincts are very good with football. I just don't feel it at this time. So I have to go for 0-0, but I don't like predicting a loss for us.
Fair enough. I don't have an issue with that. No, I personally don't think it's going to be a 0-0. I just don't think it's going to be a 0-0. As a neutral, it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal went and won that game.
I know. Neither that.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Arsenal just went out and won like 1-0. But at the same time, I think it's a different Spurs with Maureen. I could see them winning 2-0. Oh no, sorry, I can see them winning 2-1. Sorry, 2-1, because I think Arsenal will score. I think Aubameyang or Lacazette will get their goal, but I think that it will be the two main protagonists in Son and Kane that are gonna go in and win the game for Spurs. I can't see anyone running riot unless there's a red card. I can't see anyone running riot and nothing like that happening. It will be a tight game. It'll be an intense game. Obviously, the fans back in the stadium, but it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal won. But I think, me being realistic, I think I could see a 2-1 Spurs win. I think they'll just edge it ahead of Arsenal, because I just don't think the defense or the midfield has enough to stop them.
The midfield is a huge issue for us. As I said, without Partey there, we're very lightweight in midfield. You saw as soon as he went off against Villa, we just crumbled. When he went up against Villa, we just crumbled, and we've been losing midfield battles ever since then. So yeah, as I said, I don't see a positive result for us. If we do, it'll be a smash and grab, early goal, early penalty, Oba scores 1-0, and then we defend for the rest of the game. But other than that, I don't
That's
see...
the ideal scenario.
Yeah, I don't see any other way. We can't play football. We're not going to outplay them at this moment in time because we can't play football. So...
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. North London derby coming up on Sunday. We shall see what happens. Big game, big rivalry, and I'm pretty sure that even more intensely so, because Maureen is at Spurs and no one wants this. It's bad enough for the Spurs win, but with Maureen win as well over Arsenal, it just makes it doubly worse. And I think the truth can vouch for that.
Media, I've been on social media for like past 3 weeks, but if Maureen wins, oh my god! You know what? It's bad enough if Tottenham were to win the league, yeah. But if a Marine-led Tottenham win the league, I need to leave. I'm going to Slovenia or something, or Azerbaijan.
Oh mate, listen. Oh mate, I'm telling you, it would be a terrible time for any Arsenal fan if a Maureen-led Spurs went and won the league. But hey, they're joint top at the moment. It is possible, and they've got the players to do so, and they got the manager with the experience to do so. So we shall watch this space. But as I said, Sunday, North London derby. Depending on what the result is whether or not you'll see the truth do a review or not. but yes, we are going to, for fuck's sake, we are going to move on to, because obviously it's not one-sided. We can't just berate and badger Arsenal and all their fans. We have to talk about United's upcoming game against West Ham, and obviously previous result, the 3-1 loss against PSG. Truth when you're ready.
Hey, you guys. It's been a weird one. Like I know as a fan TJ is, I know he sees the recent games properly. He doesn't see it as a just as a results business. He sees it as a performance-based business. I just want to ask you about the results since the Arsenal game. We've got what, 3 wins out of 3 in the Premier League. You've beaten Istanbul Wi-Fi password, and obviously the loss against PSG has put you guys on the brink in the Champions League. So it's been a mixed bag, really. Well, it's been 4 wins, 1 loss, but it's been a mixed bag in terms of performances. I want to hear your thoughts, on the performances and whether it's just important to just get the wins underneath your belts.
Listen, when we're at this stage of the season, it has to be about performances and winning. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know there's games in which you can say, "Do you know what? Oh my days! Like,
yeah, you'll take it.
I'll take the win." But like, I'll take the win against the Cities, against the Chelseas, against the PSGs of this world. I will happily have a bad performance and do a smash and grab, because those are the teams that are expected to run riot against us. But what I can't accept is the mediocrity of what I'm seeing on the football pitch. I mean, if we go back to the Everton away, this guy was so close to being sacked. So close to being out of the club.
Ole Houdini.
Bruv, listen, I don't know what Obiaman this guy has gotten in contact with. Every single time he's going to get sacked, he's on the brink. He gets a result from somewhere. Someone just has to do the dumb thing and give this man the result. And I don't want my team to lose. But I hate it, because it's just like, listen, when I tell you everything was put in place, Poch did Monday Night Football. He was there talking about he's ready to come back to football. The talk was being brought up. We were coming up to, I think it was coming up to an international break, was it? I think we were coming up to an international break. Everything with the stars were aligned. That was it. Everton went and scored the first goal. It's like, all right, boom, this man's getting sacked in the morning. And then Bruno pulls out a performance that saves this guy's life. And I give credit where credit's due, because it was a good performance from him. I can't doubt the fact that, and they weren't penalties, so I can't doubt the fact that he put in a performance and basically saved his dad's job. He saved his dad's job. And then after the international break, we come back.
West Brom.
It's a terrible game. It was a terrible game. And the thing is, and this is what I said it to my missus watching the game when Bruno gave away that penalty, because it was a penalty.
Yeah.
I said to him, I hope the fans have the same energy about Bruno giving away the penalty as they do when Pogba did it
against Tottenham.
Against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And what was the other handball against West Ham, I think. I said all I wanted was that same energy, that same hatred, that these fans had towards Pogba. I wanted them to have against Bruno, and the referee decided to overturn it. Me personally, being a referee, I thought it was a penalty. I don't see how you don't give that, and then you go up the other end and United get a penalty and win the game. It was terrible. West Brom were hard done by, because they should have got something out of that game. And that penalty changes the dynamics of that football match. And then it had Istanbul, whatever its name is. And let's not forget about the loss in Turkey, which is why we're in the position that we're in the Champions League, because of that loss in Turkey. Because we win that game, we're on 12 points and we've already qualified.
Yeah.
Simple as that, because we did the hard work, and now all of a sudden it's like we're on the brink of playing Europa League football.
That's
after
a joke.
Christmas.
It's crazy, isn't it? Result could just change just like that. You lose 2. If United lose 2 of the next games, away at Leipzig and West Ham, we're looking at Ole again, and he's on the brink.
Bro, look at it like this. If we lose against West Ham and have a bad... Remember, we've been to West Ham in the last 2 seasons, and the performances have been the worst performances I've ever seen. Granted, the first one, I think Arnautovic was running riot, wasn't him. But the one last season was, and that was shocking. West Ham was struggling, and Mark Noble, who I won't be surprised plays in this game, bruv, they made man look like Jabi Alonso in the home and the away game, because the away game they got a draw.
Yeah.
And Mark Noble was running the show, and this guy's like 35 years old, and he's never been able to run. So how is he running the game? So you go and have a bad performance against West Ham, you go and lose to Leipzig, and then you go and lose to Manchester Derby. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. And then we're away at Sheffield United after that, who are all right on a bad run. But I'm sorry, if we lose those next 3 fixtures, bro, Poch needs to sign that contract, because there's no way in hell that man can survive.
But this is the thing. Like this is how fickle and balanced football is. If you lose your next 3 games, you guys are in trouble in just terms of just the way the league. You'll be in Europa League, but then you win your next 3 games, you're going to be near the top of the league. You know, only 2 points. Well, depending on if the results go your way, you could probably even be top of the league. You know, you guys will be top of the league through to the next round of the Champions League. So it's a fine balance. These next 3 games coming up, it's a huge importance.
So much importance. But I think, if going back to your thing, talking about performances, I think it was a very, very good performance against an Everton side that everyone thought was going to absolutely tear us to shreds. And Ancelotti's experience, it was a terrible performance against West Brom. It was awful. Obviously, Istanbul, I'm not even talking about that, because that was a nothing game. But then we talk about Sunday against Southampton, a game of 2 halves. And you know the biggest joke? In the first 10 minutes of that game, United actually started well.
Yeah.
And then it all fell apart from 2 set pieces.
Yeah.
Like, he gave away the corner, and it was poor marking by Rashford. And then, listen, anything 30 yards and closer for Ward-Prowse, like, it looks like it's just going in at the moment.
Yeah,
it looks like it's going in.
Although, do you think De Gea should have done? He got a
Nah. Listen, I said when I saw it, I was like, De Gea had no right to get his hand to that ball.
It's true. It's true.
No right. He had no right to get his hand to that ball.
Yeah, but he wasn't in control of it.
I get, bro. Like, man ended up mashing himself up trying to get to that. That's how much in the corner it was. Like, he did well to get a hand to it, but I know people are saying he got a hand to it, so he should have saved it. But bro, that free kick was quality, man. Like De Gea was rude for not letting it ping in the back of the net. Like, he disrespected that free kick, and then the old man Cavani comes on and completely changes the game.
What do you think about? I know, just before I cut you off there, Cavani, with Martial's form, and I would say Rashford's performances, do you think Cavani has staked a claim to be a starter?
Oh, 100%. 100%. You know I love Tony, but he's just got no confidence at the moment. He's got no confidence in the moment. I mean, the game against PSG, when he missed that, I was just like, and it's for 2 reasons. One, because I'm just like, oh my days, because we should have scored. But then I was just thinking, if we lose, which we did, went and go and lose this game, he's going to get the win. What did I say to you at halftime in Southampton? I said to you, if we end up losing this game, these United fans that scapegoat Pogba and Martial would have had no one to blame. And I really, like, as much as I'm so glad we won the game, I really wanted to see who they would have blamed if we would end up losing Southampton, because I know Graham Souness would have still blamed Pogba, saying Pogba mentally drained them from somewhere and made them lose the game. But I really wanted to see that. But obviously we got the result, and it was a big result, and we needed it. But Tony's just got no confidence. So I say putting him out on the left is probably the best thing right now.
I agree.
Rashford, right? Bro, like, I like Rashford, but his performance have been awful.
I've got a problem. That's what I'm saying. I've got a problem with Rashford. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like for me, like I'm not blind to it, innit? Like, bro, his performance, like, don't get me wrong, against PSG, right? Especially in the first game, he was on job. And against Leipzig when he came on. But bro, his performances have been woeful. But he's been scoring goals. And that's how he's been getting away with it, because he's been scoring. And as we know, for most of these United fans, I'm trying my best not to insult them, but for most of these United fans, as long as they score goals, it doesn't matter about the performance. And my whole thing is that people like Tony, who has been holding up the ball, passing the ball off, creating space for others, because he hasn't scored, it's like, oh, well, Tony's rubbish. He hasn't done anything in the game. Whereas Rashford will give away the ball 100 times, right? Keep losing the ball consistently, but then will score, and then everything's forgiven. And it's a thing where there's a fine balance. Don't get me wrong. There's times where a lot of players do nothing and then they score goals and then you go in and win. But when you're doing it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games on the bounce, right, it then becomes a problem. And for me, that's Rashford is the main culprit for that. He'll do nothing in the game apart from give the ball away and lose it, but then go and score a goal. Bruno's slightly different in terms of the fact that he just gives the ball away. He just gives the ball away. But Cavani Vini 100%. Obviously, we know what happened, and I already said terminate his contract. I have to have the same energy.
I don't know.
I have to have the same energy that I did for Suarez.
Fair enough.
Or else I'd be a hypocrite. I know it's different circumstances because Suarez directly said it to Evra, but Cavani was saying it on social media. But you can't. Maybe terminate his contract's a big extreme, but he has to get a massive ban and a massive fine for it. Do you know what I mean?
Look, for me, look, we know about racism, and Cavani, I think the only thing Cavani is guilty of is
naivety.
Being naive. Even, I'm not going to be controversial here, but even the way Suarez used the term, for Suarez, it was a more mocking term, and again, he used it naive, not aware of the social climate in England, and he used it. I can't put into words like how Suarez used it, but he used it in a way like he was, they're talking to one another, and he's like, whatever. It's hard, but okay, but let me just talk about the way Cavani used it. He was talking to an actual friend, and they probably used that. They probably used banter between themselves all the time. We know what we say in private and stuff. So
it's true. It's true. But the thing is, for me, when you're a footballer, you can't do stuff. Of course, like that.
I know.
And the thing for me is, if he had just come from South America, and done that, I'd probably have a little bit more sympathy for him. But he's been in Europe for a while. Fair enough, Italy isn't a great example, but he's been in France for a while, even though France isn't a great example. But I think in France, you have to be over here. Even over here, to your face, they're more introverted, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With it. So he would have known, obviously, in the amount of black players there are for France, all the rest of it. So you'll be around it and whatnot. So he should know, putting something like that up on social media isn't the most intelligent thing to do, and you just can't do it. And this is where I have a problem with all these organizations that basically don't do anything in terms of tackling racism in football. I mean, I know you know more about it. Obviously, we're not going to go into that because, I'm not trying to get you fired. but
a whole nother episode.
A whole nother episode. But this is where education comes into it, and the players need to be educated more. And not even the players, society, the world needs to be educated more. And more tolerant towards whatever it is, whether you're black, brown, green, or whatever, and whatnot. But obviously, I know I know you didn't use it in that context, but
yeah,
I think where the education comes into it, it's just like, you know what? If it's gonna offend any group, just don't do it, and that's something
it's
that needs
true,
to be taught.
and that's what it is now. If Cavani said this term back in early 2000s or around that term, I don't think anyone would bat an eye. Like if he said it in the context that he said it, no one would really bat an eye. But in this day and age now, if you freaking say anything to do with color, anything to do with your sexual orientation or race or anything, you're gonna get in trouble. And in that case, the FA will take. I know they're looking at it. He probably will get a fine. He probably will get a ban. I think the same thing happened to
Was it Kiko Casillas?
Kiko, no, Kiko says he got. I think I'm saying an actual racist term. What's his name? Bernardo Silva, because when he posted that thing of Mendy, I don't know. I think he got a ban as well. If he got a 3-game ban or
something like
ban.
that.
So
because he hasn't been the same since that. Like this guy, Bernardo Silva was like player of the season for like City. Not last season, the season before. And like he hasn't been like, but since that incident, he hasn't been the same since. So it just goes to show, man, like it's mad. But we'll watch this space to see what happens with Cavani. But to answer your original question, I think he's more than state to claim. Obviously, he's 33 now. So can he play week in, week out?
This is not
sure. But
he started against PSG, isn't it?
Yeah, he started against PSG.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure against West Ham he will not.
I can't see him starting. But we'll see. But he's definitely staked his claim to start, because as much as we've obviously said we've seen him and the chances that he's missed, especially 1-on-1 and whatnot. I mean, his movement off the ball is second to none. And
he did miss that chance though against PSG.
Well, he probably thought to himself, "I don't want to score against them." But like his movement is second to none in this hold up. Even though Martial's got good hold up play, as much as these dumb, I will say dumb pundits will say Martial doesn't hold up the ball well. They're dickheads, bro. Like they also got an agenda. They got an agenda against Martial. Martial's what, 5'8", 5'9", and bro, his hold up plays better than fucking Lukaku's. Like, so I don't know what they're talking about, but with Tony and when Cavani does play, Tony just goes out to the left, but Tony can still play through the middle when Cavani needs that rest. Like, there's no issue with anything like that happening, but he's definitely staked a claim to start a lot more, especially after basically single-handedly winning us the game against Southampton on Sunday just gone.
What do you think about one thing which I said I fear if he was to come into this team, and you have seen the difference that he has made just in terms of the composure of United, and that is man like Donny.
Listen, you see my guy Donny, yeah? Listen, ball retention, looks after the ball, composure. Since he's come in, that's why a lot of things have been ticking over in this team. And the prime example of this, right, is because he didn't start against Southampton. I don't think he did.
No, he started against Southampton.
No. Did he?
Yeah, he started against Southampton, yeah.
Did he start against Southampton? Do you know what? I was painting, so I can't remember. But
no, but that's the thing. He played in that first half. He was the one playing very well for United on the left there, making stuff tick over. Even though Southampton were getting past Matic very quickly in terms of ball retention, Van der Beek was linking up very well with Rashford, Bruno, and things there.
Donny, listen, he's come from the school of the Dutch, and we all know what that is, bruv. Comfortable on the ball, take the ball anywhere, can see a pass, keeps the ball ticking over. And so he's come into the team. You've seen what happens when he plays. It's a case of I've got the ball and he plays them passes. And it's just like, boom, boom. I think it was against Istanbul. I know it's only Istanbul, but it's just the way how he just caressed the football.
He's composed, man.
So much composure. And this is the whole thing. Like, with Donny playing, right, you see less mistakes from Bruno.
Yeah.
Because instead of Bruno picking up the ball on the halfway line and then giving it away, Donny's picking up the ball and then playing it into him. So then Bruno can do what he's good at, which is either shooting or playing that final pass into players, right? Like, Bruno trying to play ball retention does not work. He's not good enough on the football to be doing that. But with Donny there, it's a nice little bit of composure, gives the ball into the attacking players, and they can just go forward and be free. And that's what he brings to this team. Why it's taken Ollie so long to bring him into the team, we all know, because he's a fucking idiot. But now he's seeing that he cannot leave him out of this team.
Which is why I'm shocked that he got left out. Okay, so we're going to go into the game against PSG, which I thought PSG are there for the taking. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. PSG, I don't care if they reach the Champions League final this year. PSG as a side, they are a rubbish team. I don't care. They have individuals, don't get me wrong. Mbappe, true baller. Neymar's Neymar.
It really annoyed me that he scored 2 goals because, bro,
I'm telling you,
he is dead food.
Oh my God. Oh man, I don't rate Neymar as highly as some people do, but Neymar's Neymar. But PSG were there for the taking. You guys, even with 10 men, you guys
still could have won the game.
Yeah, still piling forward. And I'm surprised Donny was left out because this was the perfect game for him. You guys needed that composure. At the moment, you can tell when Donny's not playing.
Of course you can. And the thing is that, look, Ollie went into that game like we were away from home because it worked away from home. And what he needed to realize is that team that played away in PSG was not the same team that United played on Wednesday, right? One of the things, like even like that one and the one before that we won, one of the biggest things that was apparent, right, which didn't happen in the 2 previous games that we played against PSG, was Verratti was back. Verratti was back in the team, and we know how good Verratti is. Yeah. So you playing Fred and McMayonnaise in that team, right? So basically, you're basically saying no ball retention, no composure. What then happens? Bruno drops into the halfway line. What does Bruno do? Pick up the ball and give it away. It's as simple as that. And my whole thing is obviously the Fred incident, which he should have been sent off for. I don't know why it was a yellow card. Like, it makes no sense, but you got a reprieve. And the thing is that everyone was saying, take Fred off after that. No, but then there was a foul that happened after. That foul, just before half time, is when he should have come off. Because it's like, the referee is going to be like, he's probably got one more. And then he's going to go. Yeah. So, and the thing for me is, it's not like Ollie had Pereira and some rubbish players to bring on. Man had Matic if you wanted to go defensive.
Yeah.
And then he had Pogba and Van de Beek to bring on, which was needed to get control in the midfield.
Yeah.
And he sat there on his hands watching Coronation Street, as he does, and reacted too late to what was happening. And what happened? I've seen it over and over again. He wins the ball. Fred clearly wins the ball.
Yeah.
The problem is it's one of them ones where he gets, even though he gets the ball first, he gets more man than ball.
If he's not on a yellow card though, he probably gets away with that tackle. And if he hadn't made all those fouls before, he gets away with that tackle.
Basically, all the referee did there was it's the time when the referee reacted based off emotion and was like, I've given him enough chances. It looked like a foul. He's got to go.
That's it.
Sort of
That's
thing.
Basically it.
And we know what type of player Fred is. Fred is not going to be the one where he's going to pull out challenges and he's got the football intelligence not to do anything. Bro, he's going to be running it because he's a Rottweiler. He's going to be running in for challenges and making and making tackles. So once again. Yeah. So it's foolishness why Ollie didn't take him off. And the thing is that I watched the beginning of that second half, and obviously, as I said, Martial missed that sitter. Should have scored. I think Cavani hit the crossbar or the post or something as well.
The little chip.
And then so PSG were definitely taking again, regardless.
They were.
Imagine it's one of the few times where we've seen United have a team camped in their own half.
Yeah.
And all you needed was that extra baller to come on, which we saw when Pogba came on and Donny came on. What happens when you have people that have composure on the football and take care of it? Then you can play it to everybody else. But
I think this is the reason why Ole is never going to be that guy, because the formation for me was never a formation where, the personnel for me was never the personnel that you're going to say that are going to come out this game with at least a draw. I think if you go in there, play your experienced players, that game takes care of itself. Donny, Matic, probably Pogba in there if you want. I think they take care of that game so easily. But unfortunately, you got McTominay in there who's just running around headless chicken, not in position. And because you guys were attacking so much, this is why PSG actually scored 3 goals. Because you guys were attacking so much. There was no one in the middle of the park that was just saying, guys, just calm down, because you had McTominay and Fred. They're not going to tell anyone to calm down. They were getting drawn out of position. As you said, Verratti was controlling the game, finding the gaps in between. So yeah, the personnel for me was just a wrong personnel.
But this is what I'm talking about. This is when I say there's no leaders in the Man United team, not one of them. The fridge on toes is not a leader. He's not a leader. He's not a captain. He can't turn around and say, "Oh, you do this and blah blah blah." And then the thing is, when you look at the players that were on the pitch, attacking wise, they're all 100-mile-an-hour football players. Fred 100 miles an hour, McTominay 100 miles an hour, Rashford, Bruno. Apart from Tony and Cavani, they're probably the only two in that attacking that aren't 100-mile-an-hour footballers. But your 3 in midfield are all 100-mile-an-hour footballers. So when you're all going forward, there's no one to say, let's just take care of it. Let's just take care of it, pop it about. Don't get me wrong. You had to play Fred or McMayonnaise. You couldn't, but you don't play them both. So you play one or the other, and then play, even Pogba just came up from injury. Cool. Play Donny.
I've always said that. I've always said you don't need to play Matic, you don't need to play McTominay, because Donny does what both of them does. There's literally nothing that those two players do that Donny can't do. Donny can get up and down like McTominay. He can sit if you want to. Like Matic doesn't offer. For me, all Matic does, as you saw against Southampton, is put you guys in trouble because he drops so far back. He makes you guys into a back five. Yeah. So there's no point in playing those two players for me. You play them if you're going ultra defensive. Otherwise, don't play them.
Well, this is it, and I think McTominay plays in a 3 at the back for Scotland or something like that. I mean, all our Scottish fans, let us know if that's what it does. But I'm sure I saw him playing in a 3 at the back for Scotland. I don't even think he plays in midfield for them. So I'm just like, it's pointless. But this is what Ollie does. So unfortunately, we've been dealing with it for what is it going to be? 3 years?
2 years now.
2 years or whatever it is. Yeah. That's how long it feels, bro. It feels like a lifetime. And we're going to see again what he does against West Ham.
Yeah.
We're going to see it. And as I said, if... listen, I'm fully expecting Mark Noble to be on that team sheet to control the game, because if Ollie plays Fred and McTominay...
Yeah.
And Bruno, fam, you might as well just give up now, innit? You might as well just say West Ham, here's the 3 points, and go ahead and win the game, because you can't play all 3 of them in the midfield.
Okay. Yeah. Let's actually quickly get onto West Ham, because they've been quietly going about their business. I believe they're 5th in the table.
Yeah, something like that.
Mr. Moyes has got this West Ham team playing decent football. They have won their past 3 games. They've only had 2 losses. No, 1 loss in the last 6 games. And that loss was a tight 2-1 against champions Liverpool. They drew against Man City. They drew against Tottenham. They destroyed Leicester 3-0. They've destroyed Wolves 4-0. No one's talking about the job that Moyes has done in these first 10 games. I think he's done an amazing job, considering after the first 2 games, everyone's saying West Ham are getting relegated.
I think the best thing that happened to West Ham, is that Moyes got coronavirus. Because that's when everything started going well.
I don't know what he's done, but he's got this team playing the old Everton way. They're hard to beat. They have goals in them. You know, when you think of Hala Bowen's playing good, Antonio's came back against Villa, so he's going to be fit for United. Souček is kind of a beast in midfield. So
goodbye. Oh, is he on loan? Is he on loan or is it a buy?
I can't remember. I think it's loan back. I couldn't tell you.
Either way, it's good.
So it's not a foregone conclusion. That game it's tomorrow, isn't it? It's 5:30. Yeah, tomorrow. So just to get your thoughts, your prediction: West Ham United tomorrow at the Olympic Stadium. What are your thoughts?
It all depends on what team Ollie puts out. Like I said, if he puts Fred and McTominay out, West Ham wins 6-0. I'm not even joking. All right. Because this is the thing for me. I've seen better players playing against West Ham and we've lost.
Yeah.
And we've lost. There's something about the way how West Ham play. It just doesn't sit right with Man United. And obviously Moyes has got them playing very, very well. Very well organised. Got players scoring. That Bowen is a talent.
Yeah.
He's a talent. 4 nows coming back from a long layoff. Is playing well. Obviously, we know about Antonio, a problem all over the park. Souček,
they're very physical. They're very physical side, especially up front.
Souček is just looking like a bargain. Not even going to joke. Looking like an absolute bargain, and he'll cause problems on from corners and free kicks that are being delivered into the box. So if Ollie, I said, because it's away from home, McTominay or Fred has to play. Obviously, Fred's going to be banned from the next Champions League game, so more than likely,
so he might as well play.
It might as well play Fred.
Yeah.
And for me, he has to play Donny, play Bruno, Tony. I just remembered Rashford's going to be out because he's got that shoulder injury.
Oh, is he definitely out? I don't know if he was.
I don't think he's definitely out, but there's no point in risking him if it's going to get worse. So
bearing in mind the Leipzig match.
Leipzig, and then we got the Manchester derby after. So in that case, he'd have to play Tony. He'd have to play Cavani.
Will you play Cavani this game?
It's either that or you play Gallo.
In terms of what about? I can see him going back to. No, I could see him going back to having the 3 up front with Bruno in the 3, and probably playing a Martial, maybe a Mata, alongside him with the 3. Because if Cavani plays, I think that goes easily more into West Ham system. I think mobility is much better against West Ham because their defenders, they love the physical battle. They'll love I know Cavani's movement is good.
I think, me personally, Cavani is going to play this game. I don't think especially if Rashford doesn't play. I think it's different if Rashford does play. But if Rashford doesn't play, I can't see him leaving Cavani out. Because on that right-hand side, obviously something has gone on with Ole and Gunwood off the field. Something's gone on. It's not just because about what obviously him getting caught with the girls, even though Foden's looking like an angel, even though he had baby mother and all sorts. But Foden's the angel. But we're not going to get into the whole that because we all know what that is. But and obviously, I think something to do with his lateness as well. But something's gone on with Gunwood as to why Ole doesn't feel like playing him. Because me personally, I think he also has to start this game. But I can see.
I don't see. For me, as much as I like Greenwood, I don't mind him out of the team right now because I don't believe, as you said, something's gone on. So I think there's too much pressure riding on it right now for him to play, and I don't want him to take any brunt of criticism. He's too young for that for me.
This is the thing, but the reason why I say play him, especially if we play with Cavani, is just because you need the mobility on both sides.
Yeah, no,
that's the only reason why I say.
And
as I said, like Sonic the Hedgehog shouldn't be anywhere near this team.
Oh, I forgot about him. You know. Hey, Daniel James is your guy. Sorry, I forgot about him.
Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't need it, but I can see personally the front three being Tony, Cavani, and Mata playing in this game, and me personally playing Mata makes no sense.
Of course,
because playing Mata and Bruno in the same team doesn't make sense. But playing Mata with Donny and Pogba makes sense because they're all intelligent footballers. But playing him with Bruno does too much moving around. And the thing is, once they both start moving around, that just leaves Wan-Bissaka exposed 2-on-1. So that's why. And Wan-Bissaka's also got Cresswell on that side, who loves to cross the ball. So that's why I say why I said what I said. But Bruno will never play in that front three line because Oli loves him too much, and he'll play him in the 10. But I think if Donny starts, Greenwood starts, and we go with that team, I think we can get a result against West Ham. It's going to be bloody difficult. But the thing is, even if we play that team, I have confidence in the players to get a result. But then we've got the common denominator, which is Oli. And then it's just like, bro, you could have that Barcelona team with Iniesta and Xavi, Messi, all them man, David Villa. Oli would have made that team lose. Oli would make you question whether that team would win or not. So it's one of them ones. Even if we put that team out, I'm not even confident that Oli can get this team to win. But if he goes negative with Fred and McTominay and plays Mata, I can see West Ham winning this game. But as I said, it all comes down to what team he plays. If he goes a little bit more positive, not all guns blazing, if he goes a little bit more positive, I can see us nicking a 2-1. But if he goes negative, I can see West Ham winning it 3-0, especially if he plays Mark Noble.
So hard one to call for me because there's so many factors. If you guys recovered enough from the PSG game, if you guys are looking forward to the Leipzig game. As a neutral, I think I'm siding a bit more to West Ham because I said their form has been good. They've got nothing to fear. They've had recently very good form against Man United, especially at home. I think the fans are going to be back. A few of them will be back at West Ham.
Oh yeah, so, West Ham. Oh yeah, that as well. Yeah.
So I'm standing a little bit towards West Ham. I might just go 2-1 to West Ham. Yeah, I think I just see 2-1 to West Ham for some reason.
I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt it at all. If West Ham come out with the win, 100%, because it's been a bogey ground for us.
Yeah, it has been
over the past couple. Only the past couple. I think. What was that I got?
2-3 seasons.
Yeah, last couple of seasons. Because before that, like we had lost it at West
I
Ham
know, I
for
remember.
ages.
That used to be your ground, but then ever since Mourinho went there and then that 3-1, ever since
with
then.
Arnautovic, because I think the last couple have been like, I think it's been two, I think home and away, I think it's been two draws and 2 losses in the last 5 games. So they've been an issue for us. We'll see what happens for that game.
I just want to run through the rest of the Premier League scores. Just say your predictions.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna say mine: Burnley, Everton, early kickoff.
I don't even know, because like as bad as form Burnley are in, Everton's can't keep a clean sheet to save their lives.
Exactly.
I think only because I think Burnley need to win. I can see Burnley winning this 2-1.
Fair enough, 2-1. I'm going to go 1-1. I think, as you said, Everton can't keep a clean sheet. Burnley have to make up for that beating that they got last week at City. So I could just see a 1-1. Everton have hit a wall, it seems. That early season form has gone. So, yeah, I see a 1-1. You said with West Ham and United, you're going to go...
I'm going to go 2-0 West Ham.
What? This guy's going 2-0 West Ham. Freaking hell. I said 2-1. I'll stick with that. West Brom Palace.
That just has 0-0 written all over it. It does. Wait. Is Zaha back from Corona?
Yes, he should be.
Okay, all right.
I think he said he's back.
All right, if Zaha's back from Corona, I'd probably go 1-0 Crystal Palace.
Fair enough. That's what I was going to go.
But if Zaha wasn't there, that's 0-0 written all over it.
I agree with you that one. I'm going to go 1-0 Palace. I go 1-0 Palace. Tottenham Arsenal. I think you said 2-1.
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
2-1 Tottenham. I said 0-0 because I don't want to predict us losing. So 0-0. We got Man City Fulham.
You know what, yeah?
That's literally that went through my head, yeah? I'm about to say 5-0, and then I was like, you know what, yeah? Maybe.
Nah, I think 4-0 Man City.
Fair enough, 4-0. 3-0, I'll go 3-0 Man City. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5 or 6. Chelsea Leeds, very good game. Tomorrow, last game. Bielsa versus Lamps.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Chelsea.
1-0 Chelsea. I'm actually gonna go 1-1. I think Leeds are gonna put up a fight. They've been playing pretty well. I think Lampard is gonna get outdone by Bielsa. I think Bielsa has some success against him back in the Championship, so I'm gonna go 1-1 for that one. Sheffield United Leicester.
I don't even know what to pick for Leicester no more, bro. They're just a disappointment. They're just a disappointment. Like, they get on your nerves. Boy, I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1. Same as you, Leicester. That result of Fulham just literally threw me in the air.
Yeah.
They were so poor. I'm going to go 2-0 Leicester. I think Sheffield United. I don't know what's happened to them, but I can't put my finger on it. I know Henderson's gone, but that shouldn't be. But as I said, maybe it's a 3-4-3 formation. Once team gets used to that, you're going to play that. It's easy to predict.
To be fair, they haven't had their normal back three for the whole season. So
who's their normal? I know Thingy's still out. What's his name?
O'Connell.
Yeah,
I can't remember the other two, but I think I saw some stat saying obviously last season when they had how many games they won compared to this season because they haven't, or something like that. But yeah,
that's true. Another big game, Liverpool Wolves, always a close one, always a close game. Jota's going back to Wolves. His old team.
This game, I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool, but boy, honestly, like I wouldn't be surprised if Wolves got a draw.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually, because of all the injuries, I'm going to go 2-2. Just because of all the injuries Liverpool have. It's
I just think Liverpool are gonna get a penalty and then make it 2-1.
I honestly believe 2-2. I think, but I wonder if Jimenez won't be back. Yeah, you know what? 2-1 sounds good just because Jimenez isn't there. I'll still stick with 2-2, but I think 2-1 is a good scoreline. And the last game, Monday night, because Aston Villa and Newcastle, we don't know when that's going to be rescheduled for, is Brighton versus Southampton. Should be a very open game.
It's a derby as well.
Yeah, both teams playing very good football. I like the way Brighton play.
I'm gonna go 3-2 Southampton.
3-2 Southampton. I think I'll go 2-1 Southampton. Yeah, 2-1 Southampton. That's it. Any of our fans, any of you guys watching, want to post your results downstairs, see how it compares with ours, see how your knowledge is. More than happy to see. Mr. TJ.
Yes, as you heard from the truth, you don't want to jump on the predictions as well. We're going to be trying to get these predictions out on a weekly basis. And join in, jump on, see if we're right, see if we're wrong, criticize, do whatever. We don't care. Just get them comments up.
Yeah,
and
like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. That's going to be our mantra. We're trying to move this thing on. We're going to, as I said, we're jumping back on it again. We're going to start banging it out.
Yep.
Got boxing talk tomorrow to record. It will go out probably on Monday when I have time to edit.
It's a big one tomorrow, guys. Tune in.
But it's going to be a big one. Boxing talk. Listen, if the main protagonists turn up, this is probably going to be the most explosive, explosive content that we're going to put up. Obviously, I'll always be there to try and keep law and order, but it's going to be a difficult one for me to keep a lid on as long as the other two protagonists, i.e. Rash and Tooth, turn up, because there's a lot of different opinions, a lot of passion involved in that talk. We're going to be talking Wilder, we're going to be talking AJ, we're going to be talking Fury, we're going to be talking Usyk, we're going to be talking Dillian, we're going to be talking we're even going to throw in Dubois as well, because obviously that happened last week as well. We're even going to throw that.
We're going
to throw that into the mix. But I want to say thank you very much to the truth. Thank you very much, sir.
Nice to be here, man. Nice to be here. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it is nice to be back. And people, make sure after this one, you watch the boxing talk that's going to be put out there, and we're going to be rolling with content up until Christmas. Got a lot more football talk, a lot more boxing, a lot more UFC. Might even try and get some F1 in there as well, because we need to tip our hats to Sir Lewis.
The GOAT. The GOAT. Don't forget NBA. NBA starting in a few weeks.
NBA. Oh yeah, and the NBA. Listen, actually, we need to. Yeah, we're gonna get Mr. KA, and we're gonna jump on the NBA talk, because there's a lot that's gone on, and it's coming back in a few weeks. But thank you very much, everybody. We shall see you next time. Peace.
Peace.